Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Hallmarkies podcast. My name is Bree, and I am here with my Mahogany's sisters. The cast has reassembled. Our fearless leader, Anne, is here. Hi, Anne.
Hi, everyone. Glad to be back. Glad to be talking about movies with the ladies. Very exciting.
One of our All the Feels queens is back, Sister Dory.
Hello. I'm so excited to be back in action with you. I've missed chatting with you all about movies, so this will be fun.
And the mother of Miko, aka in her werewolf shifter era, Sister Jasmine is here.
Hi, everybody. I came out of hiding. Hallmarkies. I've been reading every day for the past 4 weeks. I have not went to sleep between the hours of 2 to 5 a.m. because things got serious. I cannot put the books down. And I lost count, you guys. And Miko's outside because he's not recording with us right now.
I love that for you, though. Like, one of my girlfriends sent me a picture of her daughter. Her little girl was reading Little Women, and she's like, she is completely lost in her own world. Like, none of the world exists. And I was like, I love that for her. I miss that so much. Like, when's the last time any of us just sat and read a book and like nothing else mattered? And she was like, I know. So
That was high school.
staying up late reading is just, it makes my English teacher heart so happy.
I hope I made you proud. It reminded me of high school. So the past 4 weeks I've been reading, it reminded me of high school where I used to read a book a day. Like, I had all my books checked out, all 6 of them. I was doing stuff in rotations, y'all. So
yes.
I love it.
I love it.
Find a good book, you guys. There are some Black authors out there with holiday like themed books out there for couples. So you better go find you some for the holidays.
Yeah. Well, we are here to chat too, as Anne said before we hit record, non-Hallmark movies. Sadly, the Mahogany's cast has not had a Mahogany movie to cover. We have our own theories on that, which, I mean, we've probably shared in past episodes here on the pod. But we are chatting Meet Me Next Christmas on Netflix. And Anne, remind me of the Lifetime movie I was supposed to watch, but have not.
A Very Merry Beauty Salon.
And that has Tia in it, right? That's Tia.
Tia, yes. Tia Mowry.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's just chat. We haven't done a catch up, and I feel like people miss us, and we miss talking our movies, and we miss like being able to have our banter for the fans. So, Anne, starting off with you, how is December going? How are your feels December 2024?
It's going really well. I found out right before December that I'm going to be moving back to Atlanta in March 2025.
Yay!
So I'm very, very excited to be reunited with my family and just be closer to them and just, rediscover Atlanta after 10 years not living there. So it's a whole different place now than it was. Lots of new things that I've never seen. Things have been torn down or gone that were there when, I lived there. So I'm really excited about that. And I also got to go to Solvang with my husband, which is like a Danish town in California. And it was all decorated for Christmas. And that was really fun little day trip. So, and I'm enjoying the Hallmark movies actually this season too. So, yeah, it's been good.
Have you had a favorite?
I hate to be so cliche. I hated it when it was my favorite, or at least so far. I haven't watched Christmas Quest and a couple others. But Holiday Touchdown's my favorite, and it just is. I didn't really want it to be. I know I'm like, oh, everyone's going to be like, oh, of course she picked that. It's like, well, I'm sorry. It's just my favorite. Of the ones I've seen so far. I haven't finished everything, so.
Have you had a like straight up could not stand this one?
No, that's only though because I usually, the ones everyone says are bad, I just don't watch them.
Yeah,
So
same. Yeah.
The end of my list usually is like the middle of everyone else's because if everyone tells me it's bad, I just don't watch it. So
Okay.
those, whatever, those 5, 7 that are really bad, I never end up watching. I really didn't like Our Little Secret on Netflix. That was not for me. It was watchable, but I think that's like my least favorite that I've watched.
Is that the Lindsay Lohan one?
Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna watch that one next. Okay, never mind.
Watch it.
Look, I mean, hers, I applaud them, but sometimes, like whatever that one she came out with last year was, I was like, we didn't have to do this. So
And I
he
like
was like in Ireland talking to trees, and I don't know. I was like,
talking about the one she came out in March.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh
Actually, I
God.
liked her one last Christmas. Okay, but this one it was just too much lying and shiftiness and stuff like
Why are we? I feel like even Hallmark, the lineup this year, they were leaning heavy into the lying plot lines. And I was like,
that.
this is a little uncomfortable at times.
It sounds like they're on the naughty list for these movies. Lying. You're not because you're lying.
Yeah. Okay, Dory, what about you? How is December so far? And have you had a fave? I mean, I know don't give us any all the feels spoils, but have you had a fave? Have you had one that was a dud?
Um, well, right now I'm in kind of my I usually have this phase where I'm kind of like exhausted with all of the movies because at this point, you know, on my podcast we have this holiday movie bracket on all the feels, and at this point in the year it's like the end of the bracket, and it's also the end of the year in life too, so you're trying to like get the presents and go to the parties and finish work and all of that. So I usually hit a little bit of Christmas burnout right
Mm.
now. And then I get a second wind like the week of Christmas where things have slowed down and I'm not working and I can just watch a bunch of movies. So right now I'm waiting for my second wind. But I will not spoil anything all the feels, but we have one movie that we hated. And
Ooh.
yes, so this
Ooh.
year we have been overall pretty positive. Like there haven't been any movies that we kind of out and out disliked. There are definitely ones, of course, that we liked more than others, but I have felt like it's been a pretty strong year on Hallmark
Same. Yeah.
overall with the holidays. Like obviously disappointed in the lack of diversity. I mean,
Of
it does
course.
feel like we've taken 10 steps back, but I'm in this relationship for the long haul. But overall, we've been pretty pleased. But there was one that we just tore up last night when we recorded.
Ooh.
Okay, I was about to say
So
I haven't heard this
Episode.
episode, but okay, so we haven't
it
gotten
is,
it yet.
you have it to look forward to. Yeah, it is a royal movie, and we were not a
Oh,
fan.
I heard that one was bad.
Yeah, we were.
Ew, the army girl one? I
Yeah,
didn't even watch that. I pulled an Anne. I was like, nope, doesn't look good.
uh,
I'm not watching it.
Seriously.
uh, I mean, we kind of felt like we have a royal movie on the bracket every year. Like there's usually a good royal
It's
Christmas
true.
movie or
At
like a
least you
decent
have
one at least.
yeah.
So we're like, we should put this on the bracket. Y'all, when I tell you it was,
I cannot
you'll
wait.
have to listen. Like we went off and we have not been like that all season. So there's that. But I will say what I have been enjoying most this year, Hallmark wise, has not been the movies on the network. It has been their content on the app. They have
Yeah, you
been
guys did talk about that in one of your episodes.
killing it. So we
Yeah.
have all on all the fields, we have all really loved Finding Mr. Christmas, which is like
Yes.
a reality competition show about trying to find the next Hallmark movie star. And that has been a delight. We also really loved what else did we really love on there? What's it called? Mistletoe Murders? Is that
Yeah,
right?
I want to watch that. Yeah, I
Okay, so yes. So there's a mystery series this year on Hallmark Plus called Mistletoe Murders, and it stars Sarah Drew, and she's like solving these holiday murders. It's very fun for all the mystery fans out there. I think it's 6 episodes. It's so good. And also their show Holidays also on the app, is excellent.
Yeah,
So fun.
Rachel and I are covering that. It is fun.
I miss sleeping on the app then.
Yes. So I have been enjoying the app content like way more than I anticipated, way more than I expected. So if anyone has the app and is kind of just ignoring it right now, or is thinking about trying it for a month, I would get it and watch this Christmas content. I have been really pleased.
Yeah, I remember telling you back in the summer that I got it, and I was like, I don't feel like it's worth it. And you were telling me, you were like, it's probably going to feel worth it during the holidays. And I remember one of y'all's first a couple of All the Feels episodes. I think you mentioned to the girls that you were watching it, and I was like, man, I feel like now I am missing out on stuff. So, especially Sarah Drew, because I ever since that Reindeer Games Homecoming movie she did on Lifetime, I'm a fan, and I was like, she's doing a mystery series. I probably need to go ahead and get on it.
I think you'll really like it. I was a big fan. It just ended. And I was a big fan. I really, really loved it. And I mean, Sarah Drew's a delight. I really like her. She's been in some Christmas movies I've really liked too. Um, yeah. So check out the holiday content on the app.
Doesn't she write
See
too?
how
Because
it
didn't
hits
she
you.
write that like
She
cowboy romance
does.
that came out on Lifetime
And
last
she
year?
has a new one this
Yes.
year on Lifetime. A Carpenter. Is it a Carpenter Christmas or something?
Oh.
It's also supposed to be sexy. So
Yeah. I mean, she's a buzzword for me at this point. If I see she's on it or she wrote it or whatever, I feel like it's worth watching. Jazzy girl, what about you? How's December? Have you had a fave? A dud?
Um, to be honest with you guys, I have not watched one Hallmark movie. I kid you not. This is the first it's ever happened to me. I'm sorry, Hallmarkies. I'm gonna get it together. But if you guys have been checking me out, I have been doing recaps of the BT Plus movies so far. And right now, I'm in the second half of recording those. And right now, my top favorite right now is The Day Before Christmas. And that has earned a 9.5 out of 10 for me. And Dory,
Whoa.
girl, you were
Ooh.
right. It is it's like the 1996 movie One Fine Day, but it's the black version, but it's Christmas.
I need it. I need to
I
watch
sat here
that.
like I thought I was like the lead. I felt like the babies, they did their job. Like they sure did. Like some of the stars, like hit me up like, "Thank you for watching." I'm like, "Thank you." Like even the producer that commented on our video when we were doing our preview, he even gave us a shot. Like, "I'm gonna take this to the team, let them know how you guys like the movie, how you guys like the movie." And I was like, "Thank you." Like that was really my honest like opinion for the movie. It wasn't
Mhm.
to like get cool points. Like I actually from beginning to end, I enjoyed the movie and I had fun laughs with it. It was just like it was just amazing. That's just for me.
Good.
I know I'm planning on watching other movies. Hopefully, I will have a sit down to watch some Hallmark movies, and you guys give me some opinions. I'm hearing some thoughts from you ladies, so I'm gonna make some notes and stuff. I am gonna hopefully this week. Hopefully, I still haven't baked any cookies, y'all. I don't know what's wrong with me. I've been
It's
You
okay. I think
know,
some years it hits and some years it just doesn't.
and that's what is
yeah.
going on in my December. Like it's not hitting. Like it took me a minute to even decorate for Christmas. I'm sitting here like it's not my usual decorating, but I'm gonna decorate. But I just didn't have the bug. Like I feel like I don't have a spark for the holiday for some odd reason. I don't know why, but I'm like it will be a joyous time of the year. I'm sitting here like I don't have no cookies baked.
Girl, order some cookies. It's fine.
Now,
It happens. I
I can't
mean,
order cookies.
I
It don't hit the
know.
same.
I know. I mean, as much as I love the holiday, sometimes it's also really exhausting and you
it's
just don't have it in you, you know?
Maybe I can revamp next year. Like I didn't put the tree up, y'all. I was like, one, I don't like taking the tree out, decorating it. Number two, y'all know your nephew gonna knock the tree down, and I can't do it this year. I can't.
You got to do what makes you happy during the holidays. And sometimes that's reading Wolf Shifter books instead of watching Hallmark movies. And I think that's perfectly fine.
I
And it
think it's
is. I think I'm on book like number. I think right now I have about like one, two, three, four. I think I have like 7 books open right now in different spots on apps right now. It's ridiculous.
girl, whatever feeds your spirit.
That's
it is feeding my
right.
holiday spirit. It doesn't matter which time of the year it is.
I do feel like, you know, I do applaud Hallmark for what we're getting this year. Like, I think a lot of romance consumers, whether it's movies or books, people are just wanting unhinged and bonkers. And I feel like Hallmark is really trying to lean into that a little bit. Like I told you all, I don't know if I said this while we were recording or before, but I watched, is it called Sugar Plum or Sugar Plummed last night? Me and my daughter watched it. And I was like, this is so nuts. And I'm so proud of them for doing this movie. Because on a Friday night, it was exactly what I needed. I was like, it's almost like they're making fun of themselves. And I feel like I've seen that in a couple movies this year where they're like nodding to themselves. Was that trivia one? Again, I was like, how do we have a whole movie based off of this? But it was so good. And I think they asked like they had a whole Hallmark like trivia section of the trivia game or something like that. And in one movie, I think it was the what's about the dates, the couple just keeps the timings always wrong. Oh gosh, I cannot.
Yeah, St. Nick's. I didn't watch it, but
Trivia St. Nick's is so good. But the other one that I'm thinking, it's the oh my gosh, the couple just continuously misses each other. He's an actor. He like goes out to LA. She stays in New York, and like they'll come back and they'll meet up, and it'll be great. What's it called?
5-Year Christmas Party.
Yes, that one.
Oh, okay. Oh,
They
yeah.
like mention like Ashley Williams in the movie or
Oh,
something,
that
and I was like, yes! It's so like
That was
look
it.
at Hallmark like just taking themselves a little seriously this year. So I do think, Jazzy, like take your time, listen to what people say is good and record it. Maybe not watch them right now if you're not in the mood for it, but I do feel like it's a pretty good year.
No, I take that because I thought about that too. Because I'm like, you know what? I may not be in the feeling right now of December, but I do have January to watch them because you know how January gets.
Yeah.
Y'all know.
Yeah.
Oh, I have many times saved most of the movies for January and just watched because you need something to watch in January.
Yeah.
It's like you're coming down from the holidays. You maybe have, it's like a little quieter, maybe, so you have some time. I have many times watched the majority of the Hallmark movies in January when it's all over.
Because we had no choice, you guys. You know how remember how winter used to be fire? In the past 2 years, it was not.
Yes.
It was melting.
One year, their January lineup was a hit. Like they had some good New Year's movies one year, and then I don't know what happened. We have not replicated that since.
Really, yeah. I hate that we lost Winterfest. It's just so sad to me.
I got so excited for Winterfest. It was just kind of like after Christmas, but then you still like in the holiday feel still, but it's like still wintertime before spring.
Okay, what do you think for Valentine's? Make a prediction. Give me an actor. Who are you sure is going to be in a Valentine's Day movie?
I think Andrew, only because I know he filmed a movie in Ireland and I feel like they might air it in February.
Okay. I'm not mad at that. I love Andrew. I'm not mad.
He's my top 3 for Hunk, so that is true.
Who do you think, Dory?
I don't know.
It needs to be
listen,
Antonio.
you know who it'll probably be is Cindy Busby, and I won't be watching that. No shade to Cindy, but listen, you know how they do. You know how they do. They have her putting on her hiking boots and putting on her backpack and
wait, did she do what?
somewhere.
Wait, I remember she did a movie though, Valentine Day movie. I can't remember. I think she did, but I don't remember.
I love Cindy. Can we give Cindy something else?
Give her something else to do, please.
What do you think, Jazzy? Who do you think?
I don't know. I feel like Can BJ Brent like do a Valentine situation?
Oh, that
I'm
would
just
be
saying.
so sweet. Yeah. I
Like
want
what a
Antonio.
heart with the holiday stocking. I'm
I
still
haven't
gonna watch the groomsmen
I haven't seen
situation.
Groomsmen either.
Oh, I
Yeah.
did watch
But
watched his groomsman movie. I need to watch the other two, but it was good.
It was good.
but I can definitely see him giving out a rose during Valentine's Day and
He's
making
just
jeans.
adorable. He's adorable.
I like him.
And
I
shout out
want
to
Antonio. I'm glad Antonio's kind of making it. Well, I don't want to say he's making his way back. I know he had like a side role, and I'm like, why is he the side role? This is Antonio. Bring him back.
Ho, ho, ho. We'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's the Hallmarkies Patreon.
Do you love Hallmarkies podcast, especially at Christmas?
Do you enjoy the holiday previews, recaps, interviews, and bonus episodes?
If the answer is yes, please consider supporting the Hallmarkies Patreon. We need your help to do what we do both during the Christmas season and all year round.
But not only do you help a podcast led by strong, independent women by becoming a Patreon, you get to become a part of the Hallmarkies family.
Starting at only $2 a month as a patron, you will have access to our Facebook Patreon group where we talk about the movies, shows, and more all year.
We also have many monthly patron watch-alongs with guests like Lacey Chabert, Natalie Hall, Paul Campbell, Mary Lou Henner, and more, giving their behind-the-scenes details of their films.
As a patron, you also have the chance to provide input into the podcast and even join us at different tiers.
So this Christmas season, spread some cheer to the Hallmarkies Patreon and become a member today. You won't regret it.
Go to patreon.com/hallmarkies to learn more.
That's patreon.com/Hallmarkies.
Okay, so let's actually talk about our movie. We haven't caught up in a while on the pod, you guys. Okay, so we are talking Netflix's Meet Me Next Christmas. I did pull it up. It is written by Molly Haldeman and another writer I did not write down. I know her first name is Camille. And this says, on a quest to meet the man of her dreams, a hopeless romantic races across New York City to find a ticket to a sold-out Pentatonix Christmas concert. So that's the summary that is given. Overall, a girl, our heroine, Christina Milian, plays a woman named Layla. And at the beginning of the movie, we meet her at the airport. She meets this very handsome gentleman after meeting another guy and like having a bump in. And then she meets this very handsome gentleman and they talk and it's effortless. And then at the end of the conversation, it's like, hey, if we're both single, let's meet up this time, the same day, Christmas next year at this Pentatonix concert. They're both fans of the group. And so that jumpstarts really the movie. But prior to meeting him, she did bump into another gentleman kind of in the like buffet line. So, Anne, what did you think of the movie?
I did not really like this.
When you hear Ann, I'm like, you don't like it.
To be honest, when I was watching it, I was like, I don't think Anne's gonna like this.
Yeah, this movie was not for me.
Okay, tell us why.
I think I forgot. It might have been on All the Feels. I think it was. I can't remember if it was All the Feels or a different podcast, but I feel like it might have been them. I remember somebody saying like even this whole premise like doesn't make sense, and that was like because like the whole premise didn't make sense. It kind of just made the movie. It just didn't make sense, like because whoever it was saying that it wouldn't. It's not like it would be this hard to get a Pentatonix ticket on Christmas Eve. And I feel like
Shade.
Look, she is not even lying because before we hopped on, I got on Reddit and somebody said, like, I would not be going through all that work to get a Pentatonix.
I feel like it was just a Taylor Swift, and I'm like, so first of all, your whole plot is broken down because it would never be this hard to get this ticket. So that's like the first thing. It's like you're basically this movie doesn't need to exist because this doesn't make sense. But also after that, I did not like the lead actor very much. I did not think they had chemistry like at all.
Oh, the guy that played Teddy?
The guy who played Teddy. Yeah. So if you put those two things, it was like for me, this movie was the whole thing basically fell apart.
Well, somebody else in Reddit said I can't get over why she would hire a personal concierge, but then tag along with him. Isn't that the whole point?
Yeah,
Is for
right.
him to be doing all this work for her to save time.
Waste time. Exactly. But yeah, that's just what I thought. So yeah, I want to hear what you guys think though. So
No, that's very valid. Very, very valid. Dory, what did you think?
I thought this one was fun, but I like this kind of movie where I don't really care that the premise doesn't make sense and that it would be easier to get a pentatonics ticket. Like I don't care about the setup. I just like this kind of, we have 24 hours to do this one thing and hijinks ensue. Like I'm a sucker for that kind of movie. So I thought this was fun. I love Christina Milian. I've actually liked every Netflix movie she's done. So yeah, I thought it was fun.
Jazzy, what did you think?
For me, Christina Milian, she can do no wrong in my eyes for any type of like holiday movie or any movie in general. Like I can't think of any bad movie to my knowledge of that was bad, Christina. But for me, actually, I love this film. This is up my alley, you guys, because I go to concerts and stuff. So for me to think like I'm
Yeah.
gonna meet my person and stuff like that, and like this is gonna happen. Forget the premise of finding a ticket. Like sometimes it's hard finding a ticket. Shoot, I sold someone to me a ticket one time before the concert. I got VIP because I was like, I don't do regular, I do VIP situations. But the premise of like meeting like someone fate. I'm not gonna lie. Fun fact, you guys. This is a true story. So I remember leaving my first Craig David concert in LA. And on the way back to my
Greg
hotel,
David.
girl, I seen him 3 times
Monday. Took her for a drink on
on
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Hey,
Oh, God. He was
yes.
so sweet.
I'll send
Okay.
you the video of him giving me a shout out on his Instagram stories. I'll seen that
Okay.
later. Then back to the story. So as I'm getting on the bus, so this guy comes up, like we're like chat for a second, and then as I'm getting on the bus, it's kind of like he wanted me to stay with him, like the continuing conversation, or the bus driver looking at me like, "Are you gonna come or not?" Like he tried to be like, "Dad, like you coming on this bus?" So it's kind of like I had to do faith type of stuff. I'm like, "Get on the bus, Jazz." I'm like, "Okay." But other than that, like this something will be definitely up my alley. And then I was not expecting Peloton to be all in the romantic, like, oh, I need no more. They are messy with the tea, like, oh, who's she picking, this guy or that guy? They were having like bets of who she's rooting for.
I
And
know
I'm
that was
like,
funny
They
when they
added
were
like
like
a
tracking their moves. I did think that was
yes.
funny.
But no, all I enjoy the movie. There are some scenes where I'm sitting here like I died laughing, like especially like when they went to like the whole like dance like routine situation. I died. It was like
Kaylin Allen was so
dude, yes,
funny.
yes. It's between like if the dance scene from Norbit from the dance studio and Dirty Dancing had a baby, this scene was it. Period.
Yeah. And then the cousin at the end is like, y'all did a couple of dance moves that were not mine, and I'll be mad about that later.
Okay, it was serious. He was like, no.
Yeah,
But we can
I
get into
I
that.
liked it. I don't think it's one that I would like rewatch. I think I see both sides. I do feel like it lost me for a good maybe like 20 minutes of the movie. I was like, what's going on? But I do think we also have to mention like when she meets, hot handsome guy in the airport, she's in a relationship. And so
Oh
she's
yes.
thinking I'm not going to have to meet him. And then go to the next scene and she walks in on her boyfriend cheating on her. And so now she is single for the holidays. And so now it's like, is it oh my gosh, was this a sign? Like I'm supposed to be meeting my person at this concert. So what did you all think of that part of the storyline? Let's go backwards. Jazzy, what did you think of that kind of like jump off to the rest of the story?
All I gotta say is, yes, first of all, what are you doing in my house? You a surgeon and you had some no, why you're in my house? Second of all, she had every right to throw that spaghetti at him. And
Yes.
third of all, she should have been like Monica off of season 7 of Love is Blind is run me my money to my Venmo for that spaghetti.
Yeah. Plot wise, Dory, do you think that okay, this was my initial thought. I was like, okay, we have to get the boyfriend out of the way. And I just kind of felt like the cheating was like the easiest thing to do rather than explore her still being in this relationship and questioning the idea of like, is this my person? Like, what did you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think as a device, it was necessary, right? Like we had to get him out of the way at the top of the movie. But it's so funny because as I was watching it, and I obviously didn't know what was going to happen at the end, when she started, the one thing where I was like, why is she doing all this? Was because all she had was like that one moment with that guy. And in my head, I'm like, there's no way he remembers you. Like, it has been a year and you have built this thing up in your head. And it probably didn't matter as much to him. And maybe I'm just feeling single and bitter, but that was my thought. It was like, I was just like, there's no way. How many other women did he hit on at the airport that
Not
day?
single and
Bro,
bitter.
Plot
Like,
twist.
Single bells, single bells.
Hey,
yes, that's what I thought. That's what I was thinking.
Don't worry.
Send me that towel, you guys. Single bells. I might have to write a short story on that.
Oh my god.
I mean, but was I wrong? It's exactly
he was exactly right.
It's exactly what happened. I knew it.
Oh my gosh. I mean, a year's a long time.
I mean, he ain't waiting around for her. They had one moment in an airport. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's
he has
true.
never tried to get in touch before. She has never tried to get in touch before. So I was very like not invested in that relationship. And I was just kind of enjoying her, falling for the guy she was actually spending time with.
Yeah. What did you think, Anne?
Well, you guys know me. I never like the cheating stuff because when it's been done to you and you see it, it's just, you just feel so much empathy and you like feel
Yeah.
your own pain kind of thing. So I'm like, first of all, I'm like, this dude is like, basically hopes you break up with your boyfriend, which isn't good. And then I'm like, then she has to walk in on that. And I'm like, that's really bad. Yeah. They deserve, the stuff she threw at him and whatever, like he deserves all that. So maybe that was like, it probably put me in a bad, train of thought. In the first 10 minutes was probably like a double bad train of thought, which maybe was a bad thing for me for this movie, which could
Anne's like, this movie didn't work for me on any level.
But I'm not gonna lie, I was mad because like she threw in a perfect good pasta that she could have ate later on, but still brought her money back though.
I
In the
also
Salon.
thought that, which is not a good thing, but I thought that she had more chemistry with that guy in 6 minutes than she had with the other guy the whole movie. Even though I didn't like him, I thought they had more chemistry than the other guy.
It was
So
opposite for
this
me.
movie was all over for me. I don't know. I just wasn't jiving.
Yeah,
with
so she ends up like, needing this ticket because now she's single and over dinner and drinks with one of her girlfriends. It's like, okay, oh my God, there's this concert. And she's like scrolling through the website and she sees hot airport guy on the website. And she's like, that's him. And there's like, well, we got to get a ticket and we can't. And so then through plot devices, she ends up basically working with like hiring Teddy and then tagging along with him to do these errands for people basically to try to track down a ticket. And it becomes like almost like workplace romance. And the goal is getting her this ticket to get the guy. And as I was watching it, and I cannot remember for the life of me what it was. And obviously, us watching and reading so many of these types of stories, it could be hundreds. And I was like, I feel like Netflix has done this before where it's like guys helping girl try to get the guy, and then eventually she realizes her guy is the guy that is literally helping her try to get this other guy. And I think that may have been when I lost a little bit of spark because I was like, I've seen this before. But I don't know. I thought that there was something charming about Teddy, but I do understand what you're saying. And I just feel like the fact that her heart has been set on this other guy for so long, I think it took a little bit of the spark, the believability with her and Teddy. I think it took some of that away from me because I was like, girl, you've been trying to get this other guy the whole time. So I feel like plots like this can be difficult to do.
It can
What
be
do y'all think?
No, it changed when they had to make that creme brulee. Let me tell y'all something. Zeke, High School Musical, had to walk so Teddy could run, so they could have that moment. And that was the sexiest moment, one of the sexiest moments in that movie. I'm like, I feel like I should be in the kitchen. Like, except for me, I'd be making cookies, gingerbread, but they're making creme brulee. Now I understand why Sharpay was all over Zeke. That creme brulee.
Zeke.
y'all can't tell me nothing. That scene was fire. Like, I mean, like with the frosting on the nose, like they're putting the apron on. That was so like intimate. I was like, oh, I feel like I was reading a scene from a book. That was beautiful.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so then the end comes, and oh my gosh, I feel like that was the most drawn out. I was so frustrated. I was like, Teddy, slide your butt down that chimney.
I know. And then she was talking to the
Security guard
forever. I was like, how long is she gonna talk to this man?
Right?
Like,
She's
go
like,
through
"He's
the
talking
front with
about
your
me.
ticket.
I'm Layla." He's like, I
I
don't
know.
care. Go to the front.
I know. I was like, girl, just go to the front. What are you doing? You have a ticket.
That part.
And then eventually, like, she runs in. He's like making a speech, and he starts crying because he doesn't think she's there. And then she busts in true romantic comedy fashion, and Teddy,
Oh my god, they looked so cute with their matching outfits, though. I'm not gonna lie.
And I was like, is that the red dress that the weird lady gave her
Yes.
early on in the movie?
Okay,
Okay.
can we talk about them because
That was the fashion moment of the movie.
They were giving like this weird, like they're vampire but hippies. I was like, this is kind of creepy.
Really stoned rich people. And poor Teddy, like, had to go on this. He's clearly afraid of heights. He's afraid of heights.
Teddy was going through it. Like,
For
even
her.
when she got scammed at that first bar, which was maybe my favorite scene in the movie, because you know it's coming. You know it's coming. You know her ass is about to get scammed. And it was just so funny. Poor guy. He got pepper sprayed.
Oh my
Didn't
god.
he get pepper sprayed? Yeah.
He did, because she was like patting his eyes with milk, which, as someone who has been pepper sprayed, I'm so proud of whoever put that into the story.
So that is the correct way to deal with it, should you ever be pepper sprayed.
Yes, it is.
Thank you.
Okay. Confirmation. Thank you,
Don't
Bree.
ever do it, okay?
Got it.
It reactivates and stuff. It like lasts the whole day. So there's no way he'd be able to do anything else the rest of the day.
Yeah. You take a shower and then boom, you're burning up again. But then they kiss and that's it. Usually Netflix will give you like, I wanted to know, did he open his own restaurant? Like, what happened with Teddy?
Oh yeah. Yeah, that would have been cool.
Oh, and we see hot airport guy with his new girlfriend. He's like, babe, that's the girl from the airport.
He's like, oh yeah.
Don't care about her at all. She was having this whole romance in her head, and this man had moved on probably 5 minutes after they met. See, you cannot trust.
And that is Meet Me Next Christmas.
Yes.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie, that soundtrack was fired from beginning to end. Like there was like no skips. I'm like,
I did love the music. I did love the music too.
I'm like, there's some fashion in there. I was like, I'm like, okay.
So let's dip into our holiday romantic bag. Let's start with our fearless leader, Anne. Anne, do you believe in fate? Do you believe in timing? Question 1. Do you believe in fate? Question 2.
Ooh, this is hard question.
Ooh.
We haven't talked in a long time, you guys. We got to give the girls what they want.
Yes, I'm here for these questions.
I don't know. I think I believe in.
Like, do you think people can meet the right person, but it's the wrong time? Like, can you all see yourselves, and you're married. So like hypothetically, would you ever agree to, okay, let's go live our lives for 1 year. And if we're both still single, meet here again at this time next year?
Maybe. If I if I was single and I felt like I had like the right connection with the person, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if
And
I
do you
would
believe in fate?
right. I I think I do. I think I do believe in fate.
You do. Dory, hashtag single and bitter. I am not joking on Dory, listeners. Okay, I am newly separated, so I feel but I'm like I'm good, you know, single and bitter, but I'm good.
We'll send some wine.
Uh,
I feel
What
like
do you think, Dory? Do you believe in timing? Do you believe in fate?
yeah, I totally think that timing matters and that you could meet the right person at the wrong time. Um, and yeah, I believe in fate. I just don't think you can like live your life based on what you think is fate. I think it's something that happens. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think it's something that you can manufacture. And I don't think you should like put things on hold or not do things because you're waiting for like what you want fate to look like for you, if that makes sense.
Makes a lot of sense. What about you, Jazzy? Our hopeless romantic.
you guys know my life.
Rachel is gonna be so Rachel, I hope you keep all of this in.
Please, ladies, you
Gonna
know
be
my
like,
life.
this is the
She's gonna
title
be
of
like,
Jasmine's
"What are they
memoir.
talking about?"
Yeah. This is the title of Jasmine's memoir 20 years from now after she's like written a whole successful series of werewolf shifter romances and she finally writes a memoir. It's gonna be, you guys know my life.
But
Oh my god, okay.
to answer your question, have I ever met the right person, wrong timing? Was it fate? Was it not? I would say this because y'all know me. We all know my
We know
story.
your life. Mhm.
I feel, I feel that I actually did meet the right person at the wrong timing.
Oh, I've had a couple of them.
Yeah, I think it happens. You know,
Yeah.
And
people are in different places in life,
yeah,
and
like it's
you
just,
know, different
yeah, it seemed like we
stages.
met. We, it's like connection, but in the, y'all know how the story goes in my Cray David voice. But I said off the third album. But no, I believe like you always meet the right person on time. It could be anybody. It could be your first fated person. I told you I've been reading railroad books. It could be a second person in life, but I feel like I met my first, right person, wrong timing, and y'all know the stories in the Texas, and you try to do the blog posts, everything. I tell myself, do I give it a year? Do I give it 2 years? But I'm like, you know what? I let fate decide that. And, are we still connected? Yeah, we are. Are we busy with our careers right now? Sure. We come back around full circle? I'll let you guys know.
To be
Ooh, a little
continued.
teaser.
I
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm
know.
just throwing it out there. You never know. You never know. It's just,
Yeah.
no pressure on either side. Like there's no mutual, like, what's the word? Like, are we in one? Are we not in one? Situationship, whatever it is. So I'm like, you know what? The ball's gonna be in your court. I'm
Yeah,
watching you.
I mean,
I'm watching you shoot.
I
For
think
real.
that's
It's
the
not
thing though.
joking.
Like, you have to live your life. You
That
know,
part
like
too.
the timing. Time will tell
Yeah.
whether that was the right person or not. But you can't like live your life by the thought that it might be, and like maybe turn down other, you know, opportunities, people, things to do, travel you want to do because you're like holding out for what, because the thing with this movie is that for a year, she had a year to build it up in her head, right? Like, even though she was in a relationship, there's a chance that who knows how happy she was or wasn't at times in that relationship. So she might have been thinking about it from time to time, like, I wonder what would have happened with so and so, And I just feel like that can be a dangerous place to be sometimes. You gotta live your life as it stands right in the moment and not what might have been or what you think could have happened, should have happened, whatever. So you're doing the right thing, Jazzy. You're living your life, and what happens, happens.
Yes, and like I said, I got concerts lined up. Well, one so far. Planning another family, get together for July. Like, and whatever happened, it happens. Do I meet people? Of course, I meet people at my concerts. But if the person, the first, right person, wrong timing, pop back up again. Full circle. In the words of Vanessa Hudson's, "Baby, come back to me." In my heart, I still believe you got to be. Yeah, I know. I know high school moves to go over.
Oh my God, Rachel's gonna be so. Keep all of it in, Rachel.
And you
No,
never know.
but okay. Here's the flip side. Here's the flip side of all that. The flip side of all of that is when you know that you met. We all have probably had like those right people, wrong times, and then you look into them and like you realize that they've continued living life without you.
Damn.
Oh.
There's an eggnog with the spike. Brandy's, please. I need one.
Oh my
Lord,
gosh.
we're gonna have to resuscitate Jazzy after this.
Yes.
She's
No,
like,
no, like newly separated person. I went through a couple of weeks of being like, I don't know, just like wanting to like reconnect with like I was like, you were a whole person before you got married. And
Mhm.
one of the ways that I thought I could find, reconnect with that old version of me who was like happy and whatever was like just like digging through the past, which is not a good idea. So don't take this advice. But like I reached out to old friends and some of I like finally found one of my great what ifs, like one of the great what ifs in the past that like I totally screwed it up. Totally. But I was not ready. I was not ready. And just realized like this person has moved on and is like living their best life and it has nothing to do with you and they have no room for you because they've been living life without you. And it's like sometimes that right person, right? Sometimes I think it is about timing. Like you either get it or people are going to, like Dory has said, you just keep living your life and you move on. And it's like, it was really sobering for me. Like while you were playing wife to the wrong guy, your great what ifs just became what ifs. Like you're never going to get that chance. I can't believe this has turned into that episode, but I was like, this movie just
Therapy
conjures up so
session.
many feels.
I
You know what?
know.
I'm gonna pour my invisible, wine that I ordered from Hallmark that they was charging me almost the same price as the wine bottles just to keep sipping.
Oh my God.
But
Okay.
Hallmark, that shipping is expensive as hell.
Yeah.
We're not talking.
I said what I said.
But if you want it like in 90 minutes, like, are you ordering the stuff to come to, like faster?
Like for instance, like I was trying to order me some like fall like wine, and that it like I tried to do it online and get it shipped to my house, and the Hallmark website saying like it's
Oh, you
almost
said
the same price.
Hallmark. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Hallmark. Like no, I got some wine at the house. I'm
Let's say,
good.
girl, I will order wine from Walmart and just pay the extra money
That
for it to.
part. Okay. It was like $10. It was like 40.
Jeez. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
You know what, though, Brie? I was thinking while you were talking, kind of a hopeful, I think, a little bit of like a hopeful message from this movie is that, like, so basically, our girl is kind of trying to go back in the past this whole movie. Like, that's the whole point, to like meet this man that she had met and to kind of to travel back to a year before to a simpler time. And I feel like on the way is when she found herself and her future, right? So it's like maybe exploring your life, what has happened in the past and kind of going back and trying to find the parts of yourself that you may have lost or forgotten or just haven't had time to like nurture. Maybe I don't think that that is lost time, and I don't think that that's like, I think that's kind of a good thing to kind of reevaluate and on your journey for whatever this new phase is, kind of looking to your past and thinking, okay, who did I used to be? What did I love about that girl? Like, what can I recapture? I think that that's really like beautiful. And I think it's kind of a hopeful message that even though this girl was like living in the past in this movie for most of it, with this relationship she had built up in her mind, her future was right there. She found it anyway. She found what was meant to her for her, and she found her future anyway, even though she was trying to kind of relive the past. So I think it's a little bit of a hopeful message personally.
I think you're right. That's why you're so much smarter than us.
Please.
Yes, I
I am hardly the brains of this operation. Okay.
You just articulate things so much better than I ever could.
I just think it's hopeful. Like, I think that you can't, whenever you go through something big like that, like a big breakup, you can't help but think of your past and you're like, where did I go wrong? What happened? But I think in examining all of that, as long as you don't stay there indefinitely, as long as you just visit and maybe take some good things with you, leave the bad things behind, I think that's like a good thing.
Yeah.
That's a message right there.
Do
Are
you
you ready
think
to
that
tell?
part of it too was like her being so fixated on the end goal that she wasn't paying attention to what was around her? Do you think I think that is one message that I kind of took. I was like, especially in today's world where like all the wellness girls are like, have a goal, blah, blah, blah. And like we be listening. And then it's like you get so fixated on I have to do this to reach this point, and then I have to do this to reach this point, that you stop seeing, okay, what do I have right now though? Like, what do
I
you think, Anne?
know.
What do you think?
No, I mean, I think that's true. I think that we can get lost in the day to day and being present because we're so focused on something in the future or some goal or something that we're trying to attain. Um, I think that can definitely happen. Yeah.
What do you think, Dory?
Yeah, I feel like so much of our lives we've become very like future oriented. Like, once I get this job, I'll be happy. Like, once I get the guy, I'll be happy. Once I buy this house or do this or do that. And I think that it can be hard to focus on your life as you're actually living it because you're always thinking about the end goal. Um, but it's really hard to not be that way. I feel like we're kind of set up for that in our society, right? Like, it's to accumulate things and accumulate success and like there's always more to be had in the future. And I think that's kind of an intoxicating thought. It can really, especially if you're in a bad place and you just kind of want to get over it and you want to get to a better place, of course you're going to be thinking about the future. So it can be kind of scary, honestly, to have to stay in the present and deal with your life in the present. But there's also good things to focus on in the present too. So yeah, I think we're all set up. We are all set up to want more and to be very future oriented, which is a double edged sword, I think.
What do you think, Jazzy?
I think her pivotal moment was when after the whole the dance contest, and when her and Teddy like kissed, which that was like hell of a plot twist. I was like, oh, it got spicy, but it kind of dawned on her like, whoa, like we do have a connection, and I guess kind of really thinking like I had something that's right in front of me versus chasing something from a year ago. You're talking about, oh, we're gonna meet up. We're not gonna look at each other on social medias and stuff. We're gonna see if we're gonna meet each other at this concert. Da 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 da. So I sat here like, okay, like we are driven in this society where like that is our end goal, like to get that ticket or I have to be here. And I think for me, the past couple months, I really ponder where my goals were like at this time, like, do I, I need this, I need that, I need to have this job, I need to get a better car, I need to do X, Y, and Z. I'm sitting here like, it was more of like I had to stop. Like, it was not me personally stopping. Spiritually, I had to stop. I'm like, no, you need a break. Like, period. Like, you're so focused on these goals and these things and you're worried and stuff. I'm like, no, like, take a step back, stop worrying about the future, about these goals stuff, because it is part of the society. Dora, you mentioned like here in America, our thing is just goals and money and career, everything like that, versus going to other countries where you just live your best life. Like you don't care. And comparing the two, like, because I studied about Italy and I had the most, was it a month and a half carefree, living my best life, not worrying till I got back home. Like, damn, I worry about everything else. And they didn't care. It was just like, it was just breezy and just fun versus I'm like, stress. And we shouldn't even be stressed. Like, she's stressing about this damn ticket. And like being there. If you show up, you show up. You don't, you don't. And for her, she's just always been so goal oriented to get what she wants. And then the fact that she didn't get the guy she thought she was going to get versus the guy that she needed the whole time that dropped that, accidentally dropped that little cup in her bag by mistake and kind of realize you're the person that I'm meant to be with. But I agree with the whole, like, goal oriented thing. But yeah, it's stop focusing on trying to get to the future, where just focus on the present, focus what you can control, and let the future take its own course.
So what do we think overall, like Netflix and their rom-com game? I mean, I feel like even though we are kind of on different sides of the fence with the movie, I think it still does what romantic comedies have the power to do, which is to like provide girlfriends like us to just really have deep conversations and think about things. Um, I mean, it is. I don't know. It's. I think it still was really thought provoking because every other woman I know probably at some point had the good guy right next to him and did not even recognize it because they were looking for something else.
Can I mention one more thing? A scene in the movie where like Teddy was cooking for the girls and his muscles were showing, and I'm sitting here looking like he's a married man. Guys, ladies, he is a married man with kids, by the way. But I'm not gonna lie, the way he was building stuff, it was like I was like, this man is fine. He is cooking for these
You
ladies.
imagined him as your alpha hero in your first werewolf shifter romance.
Actually, he's more in the dorky side of things, but it was just like, Layla, like this man could cook. Great, you don't know how to cook, so get him. Okay.
Jazz,
Yeah.
you are cracking me up right now.
Hey,
Now, when I pulled up the writers, clearly the writers they're not Black women. So I was wondering how much of this they kind of came in and seasoned up a little bit.
it was seasoned all right because I could tell it was seasoned.
I was like, she probably threw in all the HBCU stuff kind of on
She
her
so did.
own because I was like, I don't think they wrote this movie with Christina Milian. I don't know how that stuff works, but I was like, this isn't. I found it interesting to see, but
we'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's the Hallmarkies merch store.
Are you looking for that perfect gift for the postable, Hardy, or Hallmarky in your life?
What about getting that t-shirt or hoodie that will help you stand out at your next holiday party?
Now is the time to check out the Hallmarkies merch store.
Full of festive designs by artists like Jessica Miller, Carrie from Hallmark Comics, and more.
You can even have more than just shirts, but totes, cell phone cases, notebooks, mugs, and more.
And it isn't just Hallmark. We have designs for Anna Green Gables, Man from Snowy River, The Nanny, and more.
Every purchase at the merch store goes to help support the podcast and allows us to make the great content you know and love.
There are frequent sales, so go to tpublic.com/stores/hallmarkies or see the link in the description.
That's tpublic.com/stores/hallmarkies. And will you tell us about the movie I have not watched, the Lifetime movie?
Oh, yes. It was a very merry beauty salon, and it was on Lifetime. And it starred Tia Mowry and Ron Rico Lee, who was Tyreek in Sister Sister. So it was a reunion, like a sister sister reunion, like a lot of years. We won't say how many later. But as soon as when I started the movie, I'm like, okay, yeah, I remember him from like many years ago. And he looks the same. Because I've been, I've kept up with Tia. I know, what she looks like and everything. But yeah, I think Dory. Dory, did you watch it?
I did.
Okay, and I think Jasmine almost finished. She didn't quite finish.
I had 18 minutes left, but you know they're gonna get together.
That's why we like this movie. It's
You
nice
basically
to know.
finished it.
It's nice to end. It's nice to know what you're putting yourself or what you're setting yourself up for, what's going to happen in the end. It's nice to start something that you know how it's going to end because life is not like that. So that's part of the comfort. So yes, they're going to get together in the end. So you haven't missed that much. Um, but what did you? Or let me just read the summary just so people know what it was, and I'm just going to ask for overall thoughts about it.
Yeah.
So it is Sienna is preparing for Atlanta's tinsel ball, where she will be honored for her charitable work, and the annual event takes a glamorous turn with the arrival of Lawrence, whose family's wine brand is now co-sponsoring the ball. So, what are your overall thoughts, Dory, on the movie?
You know, first of all, can we talk for a minute about how beautiful this cast was and how beautiful Tia looked? Everyone looked gorgeous, just stunning. Because sometimes on these movies, they have people who do not know how to do black hair and makeup. That was not the case with this movie. Everybody looked great. And I would expect that of a movie that takes place, at least in part, in a beauty shop.
Yes.
Um, so very grateful for that. I think my favorite part of this movie was kind of like the sisterhood of it all.
Mhm. I
The
agree.
I
Yes.
loved, yeah, right? Like I loved all of their conversations in the beauty shop, how they all kind of built each other up because each of the women is going through something different. And of course, like the main plot is Tia's character is doing this spotlight dance at this charity event. But you do get a little bit of the story of each of these women in the beauty shop. Around the holidays. And so I just loved that. I think that was my favorite aspect of this movie. I did enjoy the romance. I loved the dance at the end. It was really good. I thought Tia looked beautiful in that dance. But I think even with the love story, I think the sisterhood was my favorite aspect of the movie. And even her relationship with her mom. I loved all of that. What did you guys think?
What do you
You know
think?
what? It wasn't a lot of drama. Like, you know how it always be a lot of drama in these movies and stuff, especially black movies. But this one wasn't even as heavy. It was like a regular, like, oh, you know, Lawrence character, have an issue like talking with his dad and stuff. But that was like the biggest, like, I guess,
You're right.
feud
There
or
wasn't a
drama.
whole
It
lot of,
wasn't like nasty drama
yeah,
like you usually see, and I
yeah.
appreciate that. I also love the fact that this was like really blackly black because within the first 5 minutes, we're getting baby hair edges laid down. I'm like, oh,
I did
okay.
love that, yeah.
I'm saying it was just so beautiful. I love the way these women were different shades. It was just like I love the sisterhood as well. I'm sitting here like this is beautiful, and I love how like all the improps were happening in the movie. Like Tia put like her product in like the background for like a display situation. Like get her product, and just like the little like hints in different like parts of like they're not their personal life per se. Like for instance, like how like Lauren said, like, oh yeah, my family's wineries in Napa. I'm like, not to Tamara, not. And then you're sitting here like, oh, what happened to like, because her Tia's character like had a divorce 5 years ago. I'm like, Javin, do not compare the TV series to this movie. Do not do that because she was filming this movie during her TV show that's currently airing on WeTV. So I'm like, do not compare that, Jazz. Do not do that. But overall, for me, like I enjoy just the sisterhood more of all. Like, she's hasn't been in a relationship in 5 years. Her other hairstylist, her guy has been deployed for 2 years, going on 3 years, and then we have the last one who lost her husband on less than a year ago, and Mr. Jerry, he looking all nice, handsome girl. Go talk to him. But yeah,
Yeah, no, I really agree with you guys. I really enjoyed the moments where the ladies were just talking in the salon or they were just, having conversations about, what they were going through with, the deployment or, liking a guy after being divorced for 5 years, or she lost her husband. And so I thought that was the best part, because the relationship, I liked it, and I thought that they were cute together. They did a lot of like business talk stuff, which isn't really that interesting. But I thought that the women together, those moments were the best moments in the movie. And I think that's awesome, because I did like that everyone looked different. Everyone, like you said, was different shades. That everyone had different hair, and it was all styled really nice. Everyone looked good. And so yeah, I thought it was a cute movie, and I did like the dance that they did. And Tia, yeah, she looks absolutely beautiful, stunning. For her performance and everything. And yeah, I think it's a cute movie by Lifetime. Because now they don't do that many that they actually make, and they actually made this one. They usually buy a bunch and then just make like a few.
Yeah,
But it's pretty good.
yeah, because she is actually the EP on this film as well. So I'm really excited like that she got to put her hands into that side of filming. But speaking of which, since we had a whole T and Tyreek situation, Hallmark. There's no way that if Lifetime could put these two together, there's no way that Tamara and Mark should not be together for a Hallmark movie. There's no way. So they're both on the network. There's no way. So I'm pitching it now. I need Mark Taylor and Tamara to be together for a Hallmark movie
Oh,
for
definitely.
Christmas. I said what I said. We want a 17 again situation. I don't care about to get Sean Stockman to make the for the music. We got to do something.
Yeah, that would be really good. I'm surprised they haven't done that already.
It's slipping.
Yeah, they are definitely.
I mean, I hope we get some. I hope they're listening, and I hope we get some good pairings in 2025, because, I'm not gonna get on my soapbox, but Hallmark, you know what you did this season,
Yeah.
and do better. Do
Please.
better.
Yes.
We're gonna tell this. We know what you did last Christmas.
Yes, exactly. We know what you did last Christmas.
Hashtag we know what you're up to right now.
Ooh.
Goodness.
Bree's like, don't play with me.
Oh my gosh. Like Dora used to say in our whole choice. A whole choice.
They made a lot of choices. I said a lot of choices this year.
Gosh.
I was just like, how can we not have one movie that's airing on the actual Hallmark channel that has two Black people? I'm like, that's actually insane.
It's truly shocking.
Is it though?
I actually do think it is. I think that
I was actually shocked. There was not even
Yes.
one. I was shocked that there was. I thought, okay, there'll be one, and I was like,
yes,
not even one movie. Like, yes, there was one on the streaming platform, but I'm talking about airing on Hallmark Channel. There was not.
Right. Yeah, the groom doesn't count. That was on that don't count. It wasn't Christmas.
And it wasn't Christmas. And I mean, Catherine had one with Nathan Whitty on the streaming platform, but I heard the series was not good. But she did have one as part of that series. But on actual Hallmark Channel, there was not even one movie with two Black leads, and that just like, wow,
that's crazy. It's nuts.
Like that was
it's inexcusable, honestly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm saying, y'all, I'm not surprised.
I wasn't surprised. I was hurt. I was like, wow, you guys, okay. That was, wow.
Wait, on a serious note though, like, cause I know, Bree mentioned about finding Mr. Christmas, and I know that probably was like a success. I watching the highlights on IG, but I want to know, are you gonna do like a finding Miss Christmas?
We've been talking about that on all the feels. Like, we really want them to do that version.
Ooh,
I would love that.
We want the lady version. Yeah, we want the lady version.
That would be great.
For sure, because I think that would be really fun and interesting. Because, I mean, with Finding Mr. Christmas, they did a good job. Like, as a whole, as a reality competition show, which is at its core what it was very well done, well produced. The challenges were good. So I would love to see that for a new leading lady.
Yeah.
On the network, for sure.
And see, I get on the Facebook groups and one thing that people gripe about all the time is like, oh my God, I don't like these new actors. And once in a while, someone with some sense will be like, you do know that they have to like start bringing in fresh actors. Like eventually these people will move on or whatever. And it's
One day
like,
these people
I
will be
even commented one day, I'm like, you do know, like, even our beloved classic actors started out as new at one point. Like,
exactly,
Mhm.
exactly.
so yeah, I
Everyone
think
is new.
that keep it going, and yeah, I think alternate it. Try a new I mean, I love Lacey, but I do like I loved Lacey in Hot Frosty. I was so proud of her for doing something on Netflix, and it's
Yeah.
like she can't be in everything. People, she cannot be in everything. Like,
I know. And I feel like I say this all the time, everywhere, anytime I have a microphone in front of my face and I'm talking about Hallmark. Hallmark makes a million movies a year. Like, you just cannot tell me that there is not room for new talent and old talent. You cannot tell me that there is not room for couples of different races, religions, whatever. Like, you make so many
a year,
movies every
yeah,
year. There's no excuse for it. There's
yeah,
just no excuse for it.
Yeah. It's just, and that's what was so disappointing, I think, when I looked at the 40 movies. I mean, we got, yeah, 'cause
Exactly.
on the app, it was probably like 48. It's like we have 48 movies, and how many of them have one person of color as a lead? I'm like, you guys, this is unacceptable. I'm like, that's crazy. I don't know how
It's
many it was. I
crazy.
mean, I did count when it first came out, but I don't have the list in front of me. But I just was like, you guys, this is like 48 movies, and all we have is like, whatever it was. And I was like, yeah, come on. You guys
It's
know
embarrassing.
it's,
Mhm.
yeah, it's bad. Well, we hope that there will be some movies with some black leads in 2025. We really hope.
I know. Will there
Can
be
we
some
get
movies
Valentine's Day one?
us
Because
to
we've been
watch,
waiting.
Summer?
I
Yeah,
know.
Valentine's would be really nice to have a movie.
yeah.
Dude, it's Black Love Valentine's.
What's y'all's hope? Like, I would love, okay, whatever that one that Lacey and the other girls did. I don't want anything like that. But
Okay.
I would like for them to focus more on like friendship groups, kind of like what they did with the groomsmen and that
Mm.
one that the girls did that I did not watch because it did not look good. But I would like more of that. I don't know. What do y'all like? That's my hope. Like, give us like another short running series that follows like a friendship group or something.
I mean,
Hallmark's
that's
version of
my
like Sex in the
hope.
Cities.
I mean, that's my hope, is for just more series. Like, my
Yeah.
favorite things that I mentioned on the app were Holidays and Mistletoe Murders. Like, those were series. And I
Yeah.
really like that. I like that you get to know characters kind of long term. And, I would like to see more of that. And there is more diversity on Holidays, for example, especially Holidays, because it's going to be 8 episodes or 10 episodes or whatever it's going to end up being. Like, you have an Asian family, a Black family, like you have a gay couple. Like, there's a lot of representation within that world that they've created on Holidays. And so I'd love to see them do more storytelling like that,
Yeah.
like, give us a 10 episode series that, kind of has diverse storylines and diverse people. And, it just Holidays feels a little more modern, if that makes sense.
That's
You've been
good.
watching it,
Okay.
Anne, right? Like, doesn't it feel a little more modern and like
Oh,
of our time?
oh, definitely. Yeah, compared to
Yeah.
like regular Hallmark, yeah, it definitely feels like more like it was made for, like it was made in, our times and stuff.
Yes.
For sure. It definitely feels like that because there are so many different types of people in the show, and that's what makes it so interesting. Is there's just a little bit of a little bit of everything. So yeah, I mean, yeah, the groomsmen, I only watched the first one because then the second one started like the day before Countdown to Christmas, and I didn't watch it the day it came out, and then Christmas started and I was in Christmas mode. So I do need to watch Jonathan and Tyler's movies, but I really loved the feel of the first one and their friendship and just how much like how much their friendship was in it. And I really like that. So yeah, I think it's way better than Wedding Veil. So I think that I would love to see them do like a version with women that that is more like the groomsmen version because it's like I think they were all there like the whole time together or something because
Yeah, they're all heavily
they're like all
in the
in the movie.
movies.
But this is
Yeah.
what I understand about the other two people have told me like, oh yeah, they were like everyone's like in all the movies instead of just like FaceTimes and calls and stuff like that. So
Yes, finally.
Yeah.
Well, I hope we get what we want. Oh, and last hope, more mysteries. When Hallmark does mysteries, they actually do them pretty well. So,
Yeah,
more mysteries.
I'm gonna give that a nasty one. I forgot the name of it. It was the one where like I did a it was a recap that happened like a few months ago. It was like a mystery. It was giving me like Nancy Drew vibes, like in the 50s situation. No, but it was Bonner. I want more from her. I forgot her name.
I want the one that Paul was doing. Like
Yeah.
the gosh, it's a married couple.
The Cases of Mystery Lane.
Yes, it's hilarious. So I want more of those. So Hallmark, if you're listening, please give us more of that.
Yes. I like that one. Okay, well, we hope that we'll be able to talk about something for Hallmark. If not, we'll find something else to talk about
Or use less.
in the first quarter next year. So we will find something. But we hope that Hallmark will have a movie with some Black leads. That's what we hope. Okay, so let's see. Where can people follow you, Brie?
I am occasionally on the social medias at Brie Unabashedly.
Okay, and what about you, Dory?
Listen to All the Feels podcast anywhere you listen to podcasts, and you can find me at All the Feels Pod on Twitter, X, whatever we're calling it. You can find me there.
Okay, and where can people follow you, Jasmine?
Y'all know y'all can find me on IG, or you guys can find me on, Twitter. I still call it Twitter. I said what I said. As Shreem16, SHREEM16.
Okay, and you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at awscott21. And please make sure you're following the podcast at Hallmarkies Pod and Hallmarkies Podcast on all the social media platforms. If you're listening on iTunes, please leave us a rating and review. And if you're listening on YouTube, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Most of our viewers are not subscribers, so please make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any videos. We also have a Patreon group, which you can check out and join for as low as $2 a month. And we have a merch store with TeePublic, so you can check that out. We do have new Christmas designs from things from famous Christmas movies, so check it out. And we hope you guys have a Merry Christmas, a Happy Holidays, and just enjoy your friends and your family. All right, bye.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Bye.